All right, it is 1 o'clock, folks. Welcome one and all to the provider meeting for November 2025. My name is Liliana Howard. I'm your professional development manager. And we are going to go ahead and get started. Celebration announcements. What? It is official. She is board certified. It is the permanent position for Miss Latricia Sims as CEO for the Early Learning Coalition of Marion County. It is official, folks. So please join me in celebrating. We have Miss Latricia Sims as our CEO. Yes. So happy. Rock on. And just yes. And I'm getting congratulations from out in our educational world. Thank you, guys. We all know we got it good, don't we? All right, so we're going to move on. Let me take a look and see if we have any partner updates. Also, we have 7 handouts today, y'all. Please make sure you get every single one. You are going to regret it if you don't get it. So, and if you don't have the ability to download it, don't worry. It's going to be on the provider provider newsletter that goes out. And of course, this meeting is also, yes, it is well deserved. Thank you guys. You guys are so cool. I can't wait to show these comments to Latricia. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Let me see if there's any partners on the line that would like to give a shout out. If you are a partner and you have something to say, please raise your hand and I will be happy to unmute you. And I'm looking. Partners going once. Partners going twice. And we're off to the next. We have a packed agenda, so I apologize if it feels like it's rushed, folks. Let me go ahead and make sure I didn't miss just one more time, just to be fair. Okay, I don't see anybody. So let me make sure that Miss Elizabeth Diola is unmuted. And Miss Elizabeth, if you'd like to start us with, you want to do the coalition updates or the provider meeting?
Let's do the coalition update first. Hi, everybody. As you all know, well, those of you that do VPK, last year we entered into a new system of measuring our achievements through VPK. And so providers were measured on a whole new system and were given a different status levels. And so the Department of Education, Division of Early Learning, DEL, has recognized our providers, and I am so proud to be able to celebrate with you. This is the actual email that was sent to all of our CEOs, to Latricia, and we wanted to make sure that you saw this because we are going to be delivering to you the certificates that they provided to us. That overall in 2024-25, as you can see on this little memo, 88% of our school year VPK providers met or exceeded expectations for student achievement and growth. That is phenomenal, and this is statewide. Here in Marion County, we have 56 providers that either met or exceeded expectations, and it is just incredible, especially in the first year of measurement. So you all should give yourselves a great round of applause. Know that your hard work is not going unnoticed. And even if you're not doing VPK, you are still a part of this system, and everything that you're doing to prepare children for kindergarten is just as important and just as recognized. So we will be reaching out to those of you that got certificates and making a big deal out of this. This is a big deal. You should pat yourself on the back. I don't know if that would garner any questions, but let me pause and see, Lily, if there's any questions.
There are no questions, but hallelujah, rock on, y'all.
Right? You guys are amazing. Our providers.
I just have to say that from the standpoint of someone who helped providers on probation and all the craziness with readiness rates. Yay!
Yeah,
Just had to say that.
definitely. Your hard work is definitely paying off. The children are even more prepared than they ever have been to enter kindergarten. And it's even more important now than it was previously when we didn't have this in place, to have these children prepared for kindergarten in the world that we live in today. So kudos to all of you. I'm going to move on. So as you know, we are moving to an in-person platform for our provider meetings. We have prepared for you this document that I would encourage you to print out. I would print it, well, it depends on how you like to print it. If you like to print front and back and you have that capability, I set it up that way. If you like to print it on 2 pages so that you can access both sheets at one time, that's also however it works for you. So here is our provider meeting schedule that will kick off in January of 2026. I can't believe it's like 45 days away. That seems ridiculously crazy. All of our meetings will be held here at the ELCMC office, and there are just some notes at the top of the schedule. All of these meetings are going to be in person. We would highly recommend that you send your director, your owner, or even an assistant director to these meetings. We are going to hold two. Lily, if you could scroll down just a little bit for me.
Sure.
We're going to hold 2 meetings per day. So that's good. Thank you. So January 15th, we will hold, this is going back to those of you that have been with us for a long time. We used to have in-person meetings once a month, and they would be a 2-hour session. We would do 2 hours in the morning and the same session in the evening time. So we are giving 2 hours of in-service training, even if the meeting doesn't go for 2 hours. This will keep us from being rushed, allow you to network, allow us to bring in some more impactful speakers and partners that can hopefully add to the quality of your sites. Excuse me, allow us to get more in depth on some topics that need that attention. So starting January 15th, we'll have a 9 a.m. meeting and a 6:30 p.m. meeting. You only need to attend one. The same information will be given at both meetings. We are going to record one of the meetings. I'm not sure which one yet. It's going to depend on how awake our staff are and how, because, you know, sometimes, well, like for me, my brain wakes up about this time every day and then I can go until midnight. But we have those of you guys are up and about at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this is the time you're winding down. So we will be recording one of the 2 sessions that we deliver, and those will remain on our YouTube page. So let me pause and see if there's any questions.
No questions as of yet, but everybody's happy to hear it.
Good, good. Well, we're happy to welcome you back. It's been too long. You know, in-person interactions are always a lot more impactful. We will be giving certificates. Now, if you arrive 15 minutes after the meeting starts, you will not be eligible to get a training certificate. So, and you do have to stay the entirety of the meeting in order to get that certificate. So I just want that to be very well known. What else? Anything else with that? The second page of this is just a really just important dates that we would like you to keep in mind, and you're going to see some things on there that we know are coming up, so you can pin this on your board or however you want. So important, January 1st, we're going to be looking out for the release of the 2026 provider profiles and the cost of care survey. Janet is going to go into more detail later on. And then that month, our second annual Checking It to Preschool event will be out at the Marion Oaks Community Center this year, and we are so excited about that. Janet and her team are doing a lot of really good work to put that together for you. And in February, on the 21st, we'll be hosting a disability roundup event here that will be geared towards services, inclusive services for families with people living with disabilities. And it's going to be for all age ranges. It's going to be, there will be more to come on that. So if you know of an agency or you participate with somebody that provides services to people with different needs and special needs, and you would like to be a part of this roundup, there are vendor tables that will be available, and the registration will be happening pretty soon for those vendor tables so that we can get the flyers and everything all set up. I'm also looking for a sponsor for food for this particular event. So if If you know of anybody that would like to sponsor a lunch or a partial sponsorship for that Disability Roundup event, please let them know to shoot me an email or give me a call. There are some other important dates on this list. As we go down, we included the school readiness orientations, the VPK orientations. We try to include all the different dates that school is closed down because those are the dates you'll have all your extended day kids and your wraparound kids that are attending full days. And then, of course, our conference is coming up. And then as you scroll down further, we even have a tentative date for our provider appreciation event, trying to listen to all of your voices so that you can save the date now. I have, my staff didn't even know this. I have tentatively chosen May 16th as our provider appreciation event. And so there's more to come with that. If you have feedback that you'd like to give us on what you would like to see happen for your own provider appreciation, we are working on a really cool activity for you all. But if we are open to suggestions. So I also included on here the Marion County Public School graduation dates. So that you know that is really easy to find if you need to know more information about where those are going to be held. Those are all the dates. And then I think we just went all the way through December of 2026, which is a little weird for us because usually we stick to our fiscal year. But this time we put all 12 months of 2026 in there. So you'll look for an updated calendar as we need to distribute an updated one. But for now, we look forward to seeing you on January 15th here for our first in-person provider meeting in a very long time.
Yep, and please take note, it is 2 hours, not 1 hour. So be prepared when you have those substitutes and stuff covering for you.
Yeah, that way we don't have to rush. So many times on these calls, we've rushed to get you out of here and had to do nothing but apologize because we went over time. And while we may not always need our full 2 hours, there are some topics that are incredibly important and we need to spend some time on them together. So do we have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, well, thank you everybody and have a great Thanksgiving because that is my time on this meeting.
All right. Just double checking. Yep, still no questions. Okay. And Janet, make sure, Janet, it says you're self-muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure that I'm not skipping Miss Melissa.
Oh, nope, you are right. My apologies, Miss Melissa.
That's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why you're my work wife, Janet. Keep me straight. All right, Miss Melissa. How come I don't see? There you are, Melissa. Sorry about that, Melissa. You can get me later.
It's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week. I know everybody's like getting ready for the holidays next week. I am. So I just want to tell all the providers that, thank you so far. Everybody's been doing an amazing job submitting registration and keeping everything together for the observations. I just want to remind everybody about the QPS monthly roster. There's a couple of providers, not a couple, it's a good amount of providers that are being forgetting to submit the monthly roster. Remember that every month you need to submit the staff roster in QPS, and that is part of your contract. So please do not forget about it. I just sent yesterday some reminders to those providers that didn't do it for the month of November. So just keep that in mind. Look in your email to see if you're one of those that didn't submit the roster, because that's very important. And then just my usual reminders that don't you forget to submit your three blackout dates. And when I send you the need registration, please completely by the due date that I always, tell you guys to submit it, because that is very helpful. That way I can send you that 2 weeks window ahead of time so everybody can be ready and know what to expect and when to expect us. Okay, and that will be all for me. And just enjoy the rest of your day and happy holidays.
Thank you, Melissa. Oh, there is a question. Is this for school readiness or VPK?
The if it's asking about the monthly roster, that is just for school readiness. School readiness is the only one that have the monthly roster in QPS. If you are the school readiness provider, you have a QPS account, and you suppose, unless you are in exempt, that you don't have the 20% of enrollments yet, so
Mhm.
you don't have to submit the monthly roster. But if you had already a class composite score, you need to submit every month your monthly roster.
Okay, thank you. That answered their question.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. And next is Miss Janet.
I'm unmuted.
There you go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So today, as you know, I'm going to discuss VPK updates and school readiness updates. I have a lot to unpack with you guys today. So we will start with VPK, progress monitoring 2, PM dates. Mary and myself has started to email all providers your start date and your end date for progress monitoring 2. Please, 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 guys, take your time and make sure that every student is tested for PM2. Also, you want to make sure that any student that is no longer attending your program is properly withdrawn, okay? Because if they're still showing in the provider portal, then they're going to still show in Renaissance too, because these two systems feed to each other. Second thing that I want to address with progress monitoring, it doesn't matter which period you are in. If you have a student that comes in the middle or at the end of your progress monitoring window, this can even be the last day of your window. You must test that student. I know there are many providers that um, don't really have students that come in the middle or at the end and have recently started experiencing that this year. So I just want to give you guys a reminder that you are required to test these students. DEL looks at all students' data to make sure that the students that are listed in your program are properly tested. Okay. Third thing I want to discuss with progress monitoring is your STAR parent report. Please be sure that you are providing each parent family a copy of the STAR parent report no less than 7 days after each individual student takes that test. So this is not 7 days after the whole class has taken it. It's 7 days after each individual student. As a best practice, it is always good to print 2 copies out. The first copy you want to keep for yourself and have that parent sign that. Put that in like a binder or put it in the student files. Okay. That second copy you're going to give to that parent for, their information so they know the progress that their student has made. And you can also take advantage of that STAR parent report along with other reports to start doing like parent teacher conferences as well. Okay, are there any questions related to progress monitoring?
Not at this time.
Okay, great. Okay, now we're going to move on to VPK attendance matters. Okay, so I created this quote and flyer with the help of our amazing Mr. Eric here. He's in our community relations department because I've seen a recent increase in VPK students testing late for progress monitoring or they're being withdrawn from the programs, and this is due to poor attendance. I just want to point out to you guys that consistent attendance is so important. It's just so important to help children to grow in their learning, in their learning development, and just to be ready for kindergarten. It promotes kindergarten readiness. So here's the flyer that I created, and it just simply says empower your child to thrive every day. By attending school daily, they'll unlock a world of learning, setting the stage for a brighter, more successful future. Okay. In addition to that, Miss Wendy Williams, we have our own Wendy Williams, y'all. Miss Wendy Williams, she also shared um, the attendance work early education toolkit. And so we're sharing that with you as well to further support your centers, families, and VPK students. So be sure that you're sharing this with your parents, okay? And talk to the kids too. Let them know school is fun. School is fun. We're not at a daycare center. You're not babysitting. You guys are early childhood professionals, okay? So promote that within your centers and educate your parents. Okay.
That's right.
So yeah. And with all of that, it's just like it's my hope that you guys will take the time to share this. Post this in your post this in your classrooms, post it on your parent board, uh, hand it out to parents, do all that good stuff just to promote attendance, okay? Any questions before I move on?
No, ma'am.
Okay, now we're going to move on to school readiness. So happy early Thanksgiving, everybody. And with the holidays coming up, I want to talk to you guys about the holiday changes and contract amendments. Um, it's very important that you guys make sure that you're paying attention to any changes that you need to make to your closure calendar and also your holiday schedule, because when you make a change to your holiday schedule, if you make that change the day of, we're not able to correct that into your contract to reflect that change. We must be notified in advance, okay? So you want to make sure that you're notifying us at least a week or two in advance. Because once you make a change to your holiday schedule, it does prompt a contract amendment. And with the contract amendment, that is a process as well. I initiate the contract amendment and then send you an email explaining how to sign that amendment. It is your responsibility as the provider or the contract representative to go into the portal and sign that contract and submit it back to ELC. So that way our CEO can sign that contract amendment. Any questions? I don't think there'll be any questions because this is like self-explanatory. Okay, now go up a little bit for me, Lily. Stop right there. Go back down, like right there. Yep. So now we're going to discuss the upcoming 26-27 provider profiles and cost of care survey. I can't believe we're almost in 2026. At the beginning of the year, January 1st, 2026, the new 26-27 provider profiles are anticipated to be open. With the release of the new profiles, the required this comes the required cost of care survey that will also be available. Please remember, please remember that both the cost of care survey and provider profile must be completed to keep an active CCR&R profile and contract for services for the 26-27 program year. In addition, as we prepare for the 26-27 program year, we have updated 2 documents now available for completion. So the first document is the 26-27 E-Verify form. Lily, can you go to that form for me? Thank
Mhm.
you. I want every provider that is contracting for either SR or VPK to be sure that you get a copy of this form, fill it out, get it notarized, and upload it to us. I want these early this year to help us have a smooth transition with your profiles. Okay, this form must be notarized. Lily, can you hover over where it says EFS Mod Provider ID?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Okay, that is your provider ID in the portal, not your license number. This is why it says EFS Mod Provider ID. Go down for me a little bit more, Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stop right there. Can you hover over where it says physical presence or online
Physical
notarization?
presence.
Right. See, state of Florida. Boop. You know,
Oh, right here.
yay, thank you. Okay, if you have it notarized online, that box needs to be checked that it's online. If someone physically did that for you, you were there, the physical presence needs to be checked. I made these a little wider this year, so that way there's no excuse that you guys did not see that. Okay, alrighty. The
J-
second, yes, ma'am.
Where can they find these? I mean, I have them in the packet, but where can they find them other than that? Are they going to be on the
So
website?
they are going to be on the website. They're also going to be in the provider newsletter. In addition to that, you guys know the way I work, my brain works. I feel like you know me because I know you. My team will be emailing each provider individually as well. We know that sometimes things get lost in the sauce because you have so much to do within a day. You may print this out or may even forget that this was mentioned at the provider meeting. So we want to do our best to support you. So we'll also be sending you an email if to each individual provider and giving you a due date to get these documents uploaded to the provider portal. Because what happens is it rolls over to the new profile. This is why we want it early.
We have one more question.
Go ahead.
Does E-Verified need to be signed in 2026?
No, you can get it done now. This is why we're giving it to you now.
Okay, they just wanted to be sure in order for
Yeah,
it to be legal.
yes. Mhm.
Looks like you answered their question. They said thanks.
You're welcome. No problem. No problem. We did the same thing last year. Last year, we just um, emailed everyone individually, and it worked for us as well last year. Okay. Now, the second form is the provider pay rate form. You are welcome to use this form. It is designed to be user friendly and directly matches the provider pay rate tab on the profile. It makes it a lot easier. So you're welcome to use this form. It's very user friendly. Like I said, I'm going to just keep saying that over and over again. Um, you can't go wrong using this form. Um, and it just makes it a lot easier. So this is an option for you to use if you choose to do so. Okay. As you let it go back up for me. I'm gonna start speeding it up real quick. Go back up for me. You see that I've already put the program year in here, 26, 27. I've already put the effective date on there for you, 7/1/26. The new program year always starts, that fiscal year always starts 7/1. So that's what that's there. Everything that's highlighted, pay attention to that because it has to match your exemption letter or your DCF license in regards to your name and your address and the hours of operation. Okay? And go down for me, Lily. A little bit more. This form is a two-parter, so it's a double form. This is the provider fee chart. I want to tell you guys that you have to make sure that what you are giving your parents needs to match what you are listing on your profile. Okay, so whatever fees that you're charging your parents, it needs to match what you are listing on your profile. If it doesn't, when our compliance team goes out, they always notify us and we have to work with you to correct that. So I just want to just throw that out there real quick. Okay. All right, I'm done with this right here. Any questions before I move on to tips and strategies? Okay, so I want to give a big thank you to Miss Taffin from Spirit of Love and Miss Janice Hamilton Merritt from Nana's Early Learning Academy and Early Learning Academy 2. Um, these ladies spoke with me in regards to, like, student and teacher ratios, and just when they spoke to me, it encouraged me to just type up a little something, some tips and strategies that I use when I was a Head Start teacher. And so I created this for you guys that you can share with your teachers. You can also share this with your parents too, and have good conversations with the children to notify them that they need to stay with the teacher at all times. Okay. Um, so I created the tips and strategies handout to support providers as we have seen an increase in the classrooms falling out of ratio. Again, as a former Head Start teacher and dedicated early childhood professional, I understand the daily challenges that staff can face. I hope these reminders help to strengthen your practices and support your team in maintaining a self well-managed classroom. And so I just want you guys to just to take a quick look at this, a quick glance at this with your team, to know that you want to start your day prepared. You want to assign uh, clear roles during transitions. You want to use really good communication tools. You want to keep the ratios visible at all times. Um, and you want to be sure that you are supervising during nap time and rest time. Okay. So this is just for you guys to share with your team. One of the big things that I want to point out is during your lunchtime and your meal, like your lunchtime, your snack time, breakfast, if you eat in your classroom or you have snacks in your classroom, you want to make sure that you have a designated area for your kitchen staff to come in and sit that that meal down or that snack down in the classroom. The minute you leave out the classroom, you are out of ratio. It doesn't matter who comes into your building, whether it's DEL, ELC, DCF. If you're out of ratio, you're out of ratio. And I know sometimes it can be, well, we only stepped out a little bit just to grab this, or I stepped out of the classroom to open up the door. 10 seconds, something can happen to a child. Okay. So always remember to count. Always remember to make sure that you are helping your children to count. Make sure that your ratios are visible for everyone to see. Make sure you're communicating with each other. Take your class on a field trip. If you got to open up the door, hey, we're going to go out in the hallway. We're going to go to the front door. We're going to line up and we're going to open the door for our guests. Okay. And that is it for me. I hope you enjoy everything that I have said. And I'm always here to support you guys in any way that I can. You guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Janet.
You're welcome.
And of course, all of this is in your handouts to be downloaded and will also be in the provider meeting. And that picture of you looks so good.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Now it is for Miss Michaela's turn and to talk about unusual incidents. Is Miss Michaela here?
Delania Price will be speaking on behalf of Ms. Michaela today.
Oh,
So,
I was not aware of that. Thank you.
so look for Delania, please.
Okay. Miss Delania, can you hear me? It says you're self-muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Beautiful. All right.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Delaney Price with the Compliance Department, and I'm here to present for today's Compliance Corner. Today, we'll be providing you with a friendly reminder concerning unusual incident reporting. Per paragraph 81 of the statewide school readiness provider contract and paragraph 66 of the statewide voluntary pre-kindergarten provider contract, the provider agrees to report unusual incidents to the coalition by no later than the close of business on the next business day of the unusual incident, and to submit a written report to coalition within 3 business days from the date of the incident. For licensed providers, sending a copy of the incident report submitted for DCF to the coalition will constitute compliance with this paragraph. An unusual incident is any significant event involving the health and safety of children under the provider's care. Some examples of unusual incidents to report includes accusations of abuse or neglect against the provider or provider staff, the injury of a child which requires professional medical attention at the provider's site, or written notification from the child's parent that the child received professional medical attention, when a provider receives notice of litigation where provider is a named party or defendant and which relates to the provider's operation of VPK services and or at any location at which SR services are being provided. If DCF licensing comes to your facility or home outside of their regular inspection, if CPI comes to your facility or home, and if police are called to your facility or home. When reporting an unusual incident, please make sure you include the following information: a brief description of the unusual incident, date and time the unusual incident occurred, staff and child involved, whether child did school readiness and or VPK, if medical attention was needed, if the parent was notified, if DCF licensing was notified, and if law enforcement was notified. We ask that you forward all unusual incidents to our program compliance director, which is Ms. Michaela Powell, and you can send it via email at mpowell@elc-marion.org, or she may be reached via phone at extension 259. And we also do want to advise providers that you may receive late notifications of non-compliance for not reporting unusual incidents, as we have not been receiving the inspection reports from DCF timely. If you have any questions or need any additional information, please feel free to contact one of our compliance department team members at extensions 253 and extension 256. Do we have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right, and that is it. So have a good day.
And this is paragraph 81 on school readiness that I pulled up. If you guys need any guidance on where, what paragraph number was 66, Delania?
Correct, 66 for VPK.
For VPK, these documents are in your, it's in your contracts, and it's also available on the DEL website. Thank you. Okay. All right, so now it's my turn. Hey, y'all. Okay, so I know everybody's been looking forward to some professional development resources. So to try to make sure they get their annual hours, I wanted to let you know that I apologize for not getting the professional development newsletter out there, but I've got the next best thing for you. Here is a list of resources for professional development. Here, there's some free ones, there's some that may have a cost, and then there's some other resources altogether. You can see that that you have the Division of Early Learning, of course, is a wonderful resource. And then they have some online updated trainings that are available through these hot links. Lassiter has some things going on that could potentially give you stipends, so feel free to check that out. The Institute of Child Nutrition, which is supported by the USDA program, still has their ICN iLearn Institute up, where you can get free trainings through there, all related to nutrition and health. And it's online, and you get CEUs as well. And then, of course, we have our Florida DEL and Teachstone courses to help with class education. And DCF, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but their courses are free now. So feel free to take advantage of that. The other resource that is in the handouts that will also be added to the provider newsletter is a letter from Miss Anna Gonzalez. She is our VPK regional facilitator from DEL. And she shares in her letter the courses that are available that she will be helping out with, that you guys can take, and the reference numbers that you would use when you register for these courses. Now, the registration for these courses is through the Department of Children's Families website, the actual training registration website. And this is the reference number that you would use when looking that course up. Okay? So, and they will reflect on your DCF transcript. And if you're a VPK provider, these are approved for VPK providers who may be on probation that need to meet that 20-hour requirement. So that's available here too. You can see that there's the language of class overview and the language of class instructional support. Instructional support domain is probably the most challenging domain in class, especially for pre-K. So you may want to check that out and reserve that. That's January 21st, 26th. But there is limited seating, or not limited seating, excuse me. There's limited spots because it is virtual. So check it out, the quicker the better. Other sessions, I don't, if any of you guys have heard about the Learning Circle series, she's going to be giving that training. And this is the link when it goes out in the provider newsletter will be a lot cleaner, guys, I promise. But this is basically how the letter translated when it was given to me. And this is the link to register. And I apologize that it's so squished. I will get that cleaned up. It's a really long link, as you can tell. Any questions? I don't see any questions. And for those of you who are asking questions about CPR and first aid, again, that training will commence in January. Appreciate your patience. If in the meantime, if you guys need any resources about where that can be made available, just email training@elc-marion.org, and our team will be happy to provide you with those resources. Again, that's training@elc-marion.org. And for provider profile type questions and things like that, quality@elc-marion.org. Thank you all, and have a wonderful rest of your day.